Hey guys, I'm Babe, Sushi Babe. Guess what? Some obnoxious piece of fruit got me to watch a little something called Yuuki Yuuna is a Hero, which didn't get as much attention in the anime community. The next thing this piece of shit, fruit, tells me that it's Pulimaji Madoka Magica done right, and then suddenly tells me to not compare it to Madoka Magica when I watch it. Right, after you told me that is Madoka Magica done right, how could I not compare it now, you fuckwit? I'm going to be honest, I had a biased mindset during my time watching Yuuki Yuuna the first time, so let's just say I didn't like it much before, but after rewatching the series with the mindset of giving it fair criticism, I kind of noticed something. This show is not that bad. Yuuki Yuuna is a 12-episode series that was aired in 2014. The story was written by Takehiro, who was the culprit of a certain manga that was butt-fucking horrible. It revolves around a group of girls who are chosen to become magical girls, or should I say heroes. We have Yuuna, Togo, Fu, Itsuki, and Karen. Their priorities are to defeat these mysterious beings called the Vertex, since they are a threat to the world and it's up to the heroes to defeat them. Now, I'm going to admit that Yuuki Yuuna feels very heavily inspired in terms of its concept, but I'm going to tell you guys right now that it would be idiotic to call this show a complete ripoff. Taking ideas from different shows is completely fine as long as they can create a story that doesn't suck complete ass, and Yuuki Yuuna definitely does not suck, but it isn't as amazing either. It brings in both the slice of life genre and magical girl genre together really well. Like, combine your cute girls doing cute things in the slice of life and your magical girl elements together, then you have a show like this, and I thought it was a breath of fresh air. The series has many moments in the show where it's quite relaxing and feels like a typical slice of life with a bunch of moe blobs. Yes, the writing may seem quite manipulative as you get to warm up to these characters and watch them having fun before shit goes down, but it's not as edgy as you would expect it to be. You see, Yuuki Yuuna follows the similar idea of Madoka Magica, where being a magical girl will have fatal consequences. It has an interesting take on the concept that makes it its own with new ideas. One of the issues that I have with bringing a slice of life genre together with a magical girl genre is that it has sudden events that doesn't transition smoothly together. First thing, they're struggling to defeat these deformed flying sperms, next thing you know they're at the beach for the sake of extra cleavage in the show. If you're not into the sort of slice of life that follows the idea of cute girls doing cute things, then you will have many moments where it turns into a bore fest for a while. However, it does hint a lot of points where it's relevant to the plot. The characters don't ignore the things that are happening to them. They do notice what is wrong, but they try to brush it off. It's an interesting take on how humans would behave if they were to try and stay optimistic. The show does get emotional and dark during the latter half, but it knows how to build up to that point gradually despite the inconsistent atmosphere. It gives you time to breathe before something else significant happens in the story. The great thing about Yuuki Yuuna is that most of the times it explains itself by showing more rather than just telling, aka not a fuckload of info dumping. You will get the proper idea on how the world works, why they need to be heroes, and why these consequences exist. The story knows where it's heading until it decides to take a bit of a nosedive during the last couple of episodes. Suddenly you have so many questions on how this or this happens, and it's up for you to interpret it. Yes, it does kind of utilize a few ass-pulls during its finale without explaining how it worked. Even the outcome of the battles can be predictable as well. They do keep information very vague during the last moments, but I do believe that the foreshadowing from the beginning to the end was handled very well, and there is a lot of foreshadowing, mind you. But the ending felt satisfying for me. May not be for others, but I guess it's everyone's personal preference on how they wanted the show to end. The characters are quite decent. Being a slice of life, the show has time to add in a lot of characterization. You learn to care for these characters, even if one of them is being an obnoxious little dipshit. Yuuki Yuuna has a rather small cast, and I was glad that they were handled well. Yuuna is the typical friendly, energetic girl who loves sweets and is a caretaker of Togo. Speaking of Togo, Togo is a girl who lost the use of her legs along with some of her memories in the past. She also has the biggest tits in the group and loves technology. Karen is your generic ass tsundere who later tried to play the game of who could be the most crippled in the group, because she's a dumb sack of shit. Fu is a founder of the Hero Club and is a caring older sister and guardian of Itsuki. Itsuki is the Imoto. Everyone has their own motives and traits, but what I really liked about the series is that you wouldn't know who the real important character is until the latter half. Oh wait, didn't I say that this show seemed inspired by Madoka Magica? Doesn't that kind of spoil who the real important character is? Ew! But let's ignore the fact that they seem copy and pasted. The characters are nothing new, but as long as they have a lot of depth, they were fine for what they were. Nobody was bland and everyone serves a purpose in the series. Character decisions don't come off as obnoxious, so I personally thought that most of the emotional scenes were not that melodramatic. The decisions, however, became a bit too silly during the latter half though, which kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. A couple of their motives became too stupid for me to comprehend, and I chuckled in a bad way when I saw it take place. Also, there are times when I cringed at the generic uses of dialogue as they sprout philosophical feels out from their own asses, but that's a minor issue, I should be expecting it. The backstories were handled well and you will understand these characters. The only person who doesn't really have as much depth and is fairly uninteresting is Yuuna herself. Out of all the characters in Yuuki Yuuna is a hero, Yuuna is the most bland of them all. She's there just for the sake of being there. She's also a character that doesn't convey a certain message towards the audience. It kinda made me wonder why her name gets spotlighted in the title, but hey, at least she's the most adorable in the group. The series was animated by Studio Gokumi, and from the looks of it, this is their strongest works. The animation of Yuuki Yuuna was beautifully done. It presents the look of the real world and the alternate dimension really well. I really want to talk about the world of the Vertex. I really liked the use of vibrant colours. It avoids any sort of contrast, so everything just blends so well. There's a lot of colours that they used and they made it work. Nothing but it looks clustered at all, and the world design just looks utterly amazing. However, I just wish that they properly animated the Vertex and Monkai forms. You know these things? They often use the CGI animation. It's not really that bad, but I don't appreciate the uses of CGI. It doesn't blend well with the background design. The transformation sequences, however, are probably one of the most coolest things I've seen. Everyone has their own different vibe and style to it. Togo's one has the most interesting and creative magical girl transformation. I really liked how these vines represent meaning. Her crippled legs constrict her from free movement and that she feels trapped. It symbolizes how she breaks free from it and is able to freely move however she wants in her magical girl form. I thought it was so damn cool. The character designs were also very awesome. Everyone has their own designs and it just looked so well thought out. What's also great is that Yuuna is just one of the most adorable little shits ever. I mean, look at her. I just want to rub those cute little cheeks of hers, as in like face cheeks, not bum cheeks. They did great on designing a bunch of moe blobs and I'll give them credit for it. Okie dokie, I'm going to give it to you guys straight. Are you ready for this? What if I were to tell you that I think Yuuki Yuuna's music is better than Madoka Magica's?
No! No!
Yup, I said that. I really love the music and it's the strongest feature of the series. Everything just sounded absolutely fantastic and I can't seem to get over it. The simple ones that give the slice of life vibe sound good but it's rather generic. However, it really complements the intense soundtracks during the battle between the magical girls and the Vertex. They were utilised decently. The use of drums, violins and choirs just made the battle scenes epic. It sounded really thrilling, maybe a bit eerie due to the high-pitched chanting. Sometimes they can be a bit overused, but I couldn't give a rat's ass. I enjoyed hearing them over and over again. It was so refreshing to listen to and I downloaded a lot of the music. The sound designs were also nicely done and very detailed. In terms of battle scenes though, I mean goddamn, there's use of gunshots during Togo's transformation. The voice actors were very suitable for the characters, portraying each and everyone's personality well and hitting their mark. Nogi Sonoko was voiced by Hana Zawakawa and was probably one of my most favourite. Her innocent and calm voice was in some way manipulative to get the audience to feel for her, but she was really good at it and it just really got to me.
何もできないからね。真珠様の体に近づいたからってこんなに祀られたところで私は
Yuuki Yuuna is a series that handles itself well, even if it did take concepts from other shows and combine them together. The writing was solid most of the times and the characters are worth caring for. It did pull off a big silly during the finale and it did leave a few questions unanswered. But I reckon that Yuuki Yuuna is still a good series. I would tell you to watch Yuuki Yuuna without comparing it to Madoka Magica, but then that would be like telling a person to not think of elephants and then they will immediately think of elephants. act surprised by this, guys. Yuuki Yuuna is a hero receives a 6.5 out of 10. This has been Sushi Babe, and I am out.